Hi, welcome to the Stocking It Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 61. And it feels like it's, last time we recorded, it was last year.
That joke never gets old.
It never does until a new year rolls around and then it's brand new again. Did you have a good New Year's?
Yeah. It was, I have not spent that much time at home in a very long time. You get on
Without
vacation.
traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we just were hanging at home, about ready to tear our hair out. The one time we were like, oh, we're going to get out of town, it was like, predicted to snow and be awful. So it was like, oh. And then a couple days later, it was just super cold, and nobody wanted to leave their houses. And yeah, so lots of quality home time, which is great. But today was the first day back to work. I felt fairly behind at the start of the day, but by the end of the day I was like bugging Megan about retreat details. Just text, quick, like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? So
what gets me is nobody does my work while I'm gone.
Yeah.
I hate that. Why won't somebody do my work for me while I'm gone?
like, oh, magically that was done while you were gone.
Yeah. Does anybody have a job like that where their work gets done for them while they're gone? Because that would be ideal.
Yeah, but those people usually have just more where that came from.
Yeah,
right?
it's like never-ending stream of work. Yep.
Yeah.
Share the responsibilities with folks.
Mm-hmm.
I, as far as chitty chat, wanted to talk about resolutions. That's kind of New Year's related. Did you have any New Year's resolutions you cared to shame yourself into publicly?
I am really trying to eat better and work out more, and I know that that's cliche and standard fare for the new year. But I remember this summer I was like, I just need to lose 10 pounds. Well, now that's like 15, and then some. So it's like I really need to settle down. I don't know what it was. Like this year, the food and everything was just irresistible. Like I had no self-control for all those good comfort foods that,
During the holidays?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything in between. People were making cookies and candies at work all the time and bringing them in, and I had no I was like, ooh, I'm going to try one of all of them. So I'd have like 5 little cookies, but 5 cookies, which I would never have done in the past. Like, I usually have fairly good self-control for that stuff, and this year was just undone. So yeah, and I've started already. I think right after Christmas I started again, and actually in December I started working out, but I still wasn't eating right. But then after Christmas it was like, okay, now I got to do both. So we're sticking with both.
Okay.
Did pretty good, but yeah, it's not coming off as quickly as it would have in the past.
Yep. The older you get, I think the harder it gets to take it off. I don't know. I think I have pretty much the same. I'm so boring. Same resolutions as I did last year, obviously, because I didn't do them. I want to get out running more. That's tapered off for me. I want to go, again, cliche, but I want to go on a yarn diet. Thinking that I'm going to try to keep it to 1 purchase a month. Yeah. So
Are you going to limit that purchase?
Maybe not.
1 purchase. Well, it was quite the doozy.
It's still just 1, right? I think my problem is I'll go over here, I'll do this, I'll do that. I'm just like all over, and those small things don't seem like much, but then they roll up to much bigger. So if I focus it,
the number
will
be. Sticker shock might get to you.
Yeah, but okay, a sweater's quantity, that's okay, but it's 1 sweater's quantity for that month, not like, oh, in here and here and here.
Okay.
And I looked, we posted a thread for 2012 retrospective, and I actually stashed less this past year than I did the previous year, and I don't know how that is physically possible. like in the amount of yardage. Like I think I stashed 20 miles this year, and last year I stashed like 30 something.
Oh.
It was insane. So I'm getting better-ish. But yeah, that's my knitting resolution. That, and I want to have an awesome retreat.
Yes.
And meet all kinds of wonderful folks, and buy wonderful things at said retreat. So my month of June is already spoken for.
Well, I want to be, like, as far as a knitting, podcasting resolution, I guess I want to be better at communication, and, yeah, I don't know. Seems like my podcasting time, besides, the interaction between us, is kind of limited to Tuesdays, maybe a little bit of flirt. But yeah, that would be nice. I did say that I wanted to have a fiber resolution of some sort, but I haven't quite determined what that's going to be.
Yeah.
Definitely want to keep trying my, going through my stash and spinning up more new things. I don't know. It's all, yeah. I know a lot of people that were just doing away with the resolutions. They weren't going to try to do anything.
The resolution was not to resolve.
Yeah.
The unresolution.
Yeah, the unresolution.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's important to set goals for yourself, and to try to, like with me and my self-striping. I love buying it, and I don't knit it, and so I'm resolving this year to use it. And I think the KLs are going to be a great way for me to do that, because I'm on the hook, right? It's not like, and I want to, you just throw things out and not actually do it. I'm going to be accountable because there's KLs going on. And I had a few questions about that. So basically, this is the loosey-gooseyest KAL you could ever participate in. You don't have to finish your socks in a month. You don't have to have cast it on in January. They could be works in progress. Ultimately, you get one entry per self-striping project finished in 2013, not exceeding the month that we're currently in. So if it's March 3, you can only have 3 entries. You can't knit 12 socks in the first month and then go do. So
yeah, okay.
If you've got self-striping, new, old, works in progress, UFOs, hose, you're all welcome. But for January, you only get 1 entry. If you don't finish your socks in January and you want to enter them for February, you can enter them in February. Basically by the end you can accumulate the max amount of 12.
Okay.
So, I hope that's clear. I don't know.
12 for the whole year.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
So, and then
I wasn't sure if it was like accumulating, so like 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9. Oh, I could never knit that much, but
yeah. Yes, 12
for
sock entries for the whole year. And I will be giving away some of my self-striping.
Yes.
So, and to go along with that, I was going to, in my Elizabeth Quinton bag, I have the yarn that was selected by my 18-month-old. So he very wisely chose, what happened to my skein? This bright orange splatter with bright, brilliant blue.
It looked so different in the
It did. Yep. It's a 716, her cash, her cashmere. So he chose wisely.
Yeah,
Baby loves cashmere. And I was going to reflect, if people are thinking about getting some self-striping or trying some out, that I haven't used her cash base yet, but Jenna's, her sock base has worn the best for me. I'm really hard on socks. I don't wear them. Most of the time my socks are worn as house socks. So they've worn really well. I've worn these SKUs so many times, and I don't have a whole.
That with probably the best for merino, though.
Yep.
Have you tried the other ones?
My husband is wearing the BFL.
Okay.
And so we'll see. But he wears those in shoes, which I think is harder on them.
Well, I just meant that I have some socks that are made from wool.
Okay.
Wool.
Yeah.
And
so this is
they're
merino nylon.
They're wearing like iron.
Yep.
Like
And so I generally, mine wear out underneath the ball of my foot and then back here by my heel. And these have worn really well for as much as I've worn them. And as a surprise giveaway, the first person, this was generously donated. It's Lollipop Yarns Truffle. It's 6 Rose Toffee, 6 Rose Milk Chocolate, and 6 Rose Cocoa Bean. All of the yumminess, none of the calories. Was generously donated by Annette, K18, to our podcast. And we are going to, the first person out in this episode 61's thread out on Ravelry that says, I don't own any socks, self-striping sock yarn, and I would love to knit up that beautiful luscious brown, it's yours. So pause the podcast, go out to the Ravelry. We'll wait. Go out to the Ravelry boards and see if somebody else has already said, I'll take it. And we have lots of giveaways today.
Yes. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
we're going to the end for those.
In case we have to split them off. And and Blip isn't kind to me. So, with that, Miracle Jen is dyeing up our colorways. She said she has, she's wrapping up the Amy colorways. I don't believe that means she's shipping any until February, but she's wrapping up the Amy and she started up on the Megan, so she gave yours preference.
There were more of them.
There were. Well, no, I think they ended up being the same, unless the custom orders, because the both sold out. Yours was just first. Maybe she's doing them in the order in which the
orders came in.
Yeah, that would make sense because yours sold out first.
Okay.
Anyway, she's happily dying away, and we can't wait to see them.
Yep.
Have you given any more thought to the pattern that you were going to?
No.
Nope.
Not
until
really.
They're in your hot little hands.
No, not really. I mean, I have a lot of fingering weight patterns on my queue, so it'll be one of those. Yeah, and worsted, and it's one of those, I'm sure.
And then, last but certainly not least, we wanted to mention the retreat hotel reservations.
So we've had a few snafus, and it won't be the last. We just wanted to reiterate that if you're going out and using the reservation systems or calling in to the Kaler Grand Hotel to reserve, you need to reserve for the zombie apocalypse with the zombie code. If you use any other code, you're not including your day pass. So it may seem like a cheaper price, but trust us, we got you the best price with the day pass and the room and one car parking, which can be taken off later if you're not taking a car, but that's all included in that price. So it may look like it's, oh gosh, that's so much per night, but that includes the day pass. So please.
And the day pass includes that we're going to have hopefully fabulous prizes, depending on attendance. And then also we have a very large ballroom that we'll be using for the market and didn't come for free. Obviously, the hotel is charging us for that, and for us to hang out in throughout the week as well. So, as Amy said, it's going to be a much better deal if you go through our code, because if you show up and you just have a hotel reservation and you haven't used our code, you're not going to have a lanyard and be able to be involved. You'll have to pay the day pass, and as she said, it will be more expensive.
So please. Also, I was kind of like, I might be springing this on Megan, but I was thinking that I wanted to ask people to register as soon as possible. Please. Using the zombie code so that we have a list of number of attendees that are coming, so that when we solicit for other people to donate wonderful prizes, we can let them know that their merchandise, their product is being, shown off to a greater number of people, right? It really helps us sell the fact that they should totally donate to our retreat, because we have awesome people. And they need to support us and you and give us awesome prizes. So
and there really is, and I've had a couple of questions, direct PMs about this. There really is no risk to you. So they are going to set aside a certain number of rooms for us up until, is it March or April?
I think it was April.
Okay, April, a couple of months before the retreat. And if we, then after that point, those rooms won't be held anymore. So you can reserve now. There's no money down. You're not going to get charged until you check in. And I believe that their reservation policy is that you can cancel, yeah, like 48 hours or day of.
By 4 p.m. of blah 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 blah. It was.
And we want you to come, but also we want you to know that if you register and you can't make it, that you're really out nothing. So don't
for the hotel.
Yeah. Yep.
When
the extras are going to be later. Extras, yeah. Those are costs that we'll have to. But yeah, so. And then we had a few questions about roommates. So if you don't have a roommate, we would encourage you to register for the hotel room. Even though it looks like a bigger price, it's going to be divided by 2, as 2 adults attending. And then we will either randomly match you up, or we have a thread out in the board that says, I want a roommate. And it's kind of fun. It's like I've been watching people get paired off. And, yeah. Oh, yay, you get to be with blah, blah, blah. And so that's kind of your way of telling the hotel that you intend to be part of a 2-part room, and then we are going to rectify that either randomly or by noting in the special notes, I will be rooming with, insert roommate's name here. So, and those were all things that we neglected to speak about last week, but the hotel reservation number is out there, and if you have any questions, they will be able to tell you how you are currently registered and if you've got the zombie code applied, and if you're double occupancy. I had a couple questions about triple occupancy as well, and that's also an option, but you'll have to rent the rollaway, I believe, because they're double rooms.
Yeah, or sleep with your bestie.
Yep.
In your bed.
Yep.
So, and they're doubles, so it's kind of a small bed. For sharing. I'd rather have a queen or king if I'm sharing. But also, I wanted to make sure that if you're listening to us and going, oh, I used a AAA, or oh, I used the blah 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 rate, please call them back, get under the zombie apocalypse code. That way we can keep track of our numbers, and you are really getting the better deal, because we're getting a room rate that's less than what they're advertising to other people. That's one. And then you're also getting your day pass in there. So ultimately it's going to be cheaper.
And our numbers, I guess Amy and I thought our numbers felt a little low for the number of people that we had seen that said that, because we can't look at the stuff in real time. So you can't message us and say, do I have the zombie rate? Because we can't look at them real time. But they just seemed like, compared to I booked my hotel thread and whatever, the numbers seem low. So, not to cause false alarm, but if you didn't remember mentioning or using that I'm going to the zombie apocalypse, you may not have registered correctly.
And currently, I have added a column in our spreadsheet and put a check mark by everybody that I paired up from our official list. And so maybe we could look on that and say, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Unofficially, kind of through Ravelry, unofficially say, oh, no, you're not, and try to get that corrected for you.
It seemed like we had a lot more to say than we thought we were going to, but
yeah.
Vendor contracts are going out probably, as you're viewing this.
Yes.
So hopefully next week we will have a list of people that have returned them and said we are going to be there. I know that out on Ravelry forum groups, we've had folks already mention their intentions, and so I don't think it's just going to be a formality. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And we've got some big, wonderful names coming that I can't wait to share with you.
Yes.
If you haven't found out through being part of their Ravelry groups already.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it. I started a new coupon codes thread, or actually I renamed one that was started. We've got the Kitchen Counter Crafter. She's got 20% off, I believe. And then Elizabeth Quinton Bags has 15% off that were in last episode's thread and are still going on here in January. And you saw my Elizabeth Quinton bag, and you will see the Kitchen Counter Crafter Java Jenny's bags in the prize giveaways.
And this one isn't locked, so if you have a coupon code that you want to share with the viewers, you can put it there.
Yes. definitely. I know there's been a lot of New Year's patterny stuff out on
really
Plurk
cool.
and Twitter. You could definitely tell which ones are the ones that have coupon codes for free patterns because they're in the top 20.
Yeah.
Last week it was Tin Can Knits, and now it's like Vera Sandin, I believe, is one of them. Okay, I think that is all the chitty chatty.
On to the knitting.
On to the knitting. I know that you have an FO.
I have lots of FOs this week. You know, that week off and getting lots of things done, and I felt so accomplished, and then all of a sudden I started thinking, well, for as much time as I was at home, maybe I didn't.
But it's been less than a week in between when we podcasted, right? So
I knitted a really pretty Chardonnay infinity cowl, and I haven't put this out on my projects page yet, out of my Southdown baby doll. And I really liked this pattern. It was really cute, and it was dead simple until you got to the cable, and it was not too bad. They just require you to have 2 cable needles, and I got away with just having one, and then using the regular needle for the rest. And I don't know, however you decide to do cables, it did say that you needed 2.
Patterning? Sorry, I can just look on her face. I can we'll link it once you get your project page out there. I'm sorry, it's a very pretty cowl. I thought somebody might care to know.
Okay. I said Chardonnay.
Oh, okay.
Infinity cowl.
Okay.
Or scarf, infinity scarf, but Chardonnay.
I missed it. Sorry. Sassafras.
Yeah.
Me.
So, 1, and then I have 2 spinning ones.
So you have. Are you saving that
I'm
for the
saving
grand
it for the
finale?
grand finale.
Sorry, I was ready to.
So this is some Fiber Nymph that we color for SSK, the Kaleidoscope colorway. And I love how this got muddied, and I don't know, it just looks so pretty.
It mellowed.
Yes. It's, I don't know. I'm in love with it. I love it. It is only...
What's the base? The base.
Gosh, I should have tied the tag on. It's a BFL silk.
Okay. I love me some BFL.
So that is 1, and I think it's 142 yards. I'd like to count it again. It doesn't look like it should be 142. It looks like it should be more, but oh well, no here nor there. But yeah, I'm excited.
It's pretty.
I don't know what I can do. Hat, one of those infinity cowls. I don't know. I really think it's beautiful, and I'm excited, but I wish I'd gotten closer to 200 yards.
Yeah.
And then this is some alpaca that I had gotten at Shepherd's Harvest from C&M Acres, and it was a white alpaca that was Kool-Aid dyed. I think they said Kool-Aid dyed. It wasn't, acid dyed or anything. And yeah, it spun up just like the other alpaca I got. Like I was saying, I had a lot of these natural fibers that came from festivals that I was using, and there's a lot of like plant fiber and veggie matter, and it just was, I don't know, slow going compared to when you have it completely prepped and you can just spin away. But I'm very happy with the end product, and it also is 140 yards. So I'm not sure what happened there. Like, I really need to count them again. Maybe I'm just counting them wrong. But, yeah. I don't know what else to say about the spinning, really. I mean,
if you have a pattern in mind, if you enjoyed the spinning, I don't know what I would say about it either.
I enjoyed it, and it was nice. I liked the Fiber Nymph fiber base. It was great. And I love the color. I mean, I almost want to see if I can order more. I mean, it's a really neat color.
Yeah.
And I did intentionally spin this a little bit thicker, so it's getting on a worsted weight, maybe DK to worsted. But yeah, again, I was surprised that I didn't get more yardage.
Yeah.
But that's, not her fault. That's my fault. can't blame the fiber artist. You gotta blame the spinner.
I gotta put down my
So
sock
this is
for the Sweater of Doom.
Sweater of Doom, it is done, yay!
Oh, hail the Sweater of Doom. And let me, oh, there's still some.
Well, yes, there's lots of ends. I have not come anywhere near doing
You said
all
you
that.
wore it.
I did.
Sorry.
I did wear it.
I pointed out your flaws. I'm sorry, not flaws, but your...
Well, what I had done is I had done all the ones that were along the sleeves, and I did the ones, you know, that like a good 8 inches of the bottom, so that I wouldn't have any random ones sticking out the bottom edge.
Yeah, just extra insulation.
Yeah, and I'll get to it eventually. It'll just sit on my armchair waiting for me, just get in the mood to...
That's what she
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Sorry.
It happens all the time.
Pause for Megan to say that's what she said.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this pattern. I'm not gonna say that, you know, you all should go out and do it. It was a slog, and yeah, I don't know. I have a sport weight and an Aran weight on the needles, and as complicated as their patterns are, I think they're going to be a lot more enjoyable than fingering weight, feather and fan.
Mm-hmm.
At least, you know, for a while.
Yeah.
Feather and fan was really easy to memorize, and this is very straight. There's no shaping in the pattern, so it's a lot better in that regard. But yeah, this was a lot of work. I mean, this was done on 2s, I think, or 3s. I mean, it was done on small needles, small yarn, and I don't know.
I think that you should be very proud, and that when you wear it, nobody's going to believe that you knit it yourself. And B,
until I
think,
show them the
Yeah.
shame of all the ends that, like,
she's keeping them just for proof.
there you go.
Like, legit.
Look, I made that.
Too legit to not knit it. But B, the adjacency to knitting your olive, which is also another fingering weight jumper.
Yes.
You had to have been just ready to jump off of a cliff.
That was done on 2s. That one was done on 2s because that fabric was nice and dense.
Wow.
But this one, for the sake of lace, was 3s. But yeah, and the border's done on 2s.
Yay! Everybody put down your knitting needles and applaud.
Yay! Applaud myself, pat on my back. Yeah.
No humble brag there, just a brag.
Just a brag. Yep. Yeah, no, I really like the finished object.
Yes.
And I'm very happy with it. And again, like, I don't know too many people who did this pattern that were all like, yeah, that was wonderful, I'm going to do it again. But it was, yeah. It was worth ordering the book on Amazon used, and because it was hard to find, and not expensive though. I mean, it was like $4 or something. But
is the pattern actually out on Ravelry? Was it already cataloged? You didn't have to add it?
No, I didn't have to add it, and there are people out there who have done it.
How did you find out about it?
I was searching for stripes, fingering weight, so that I could eat up a lot of sock yarn.
So it was a data mining.
Yes, it was very much a data mining to find something to fit the purpose of getting rid of, let's see, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of yarn. I still have a lot of the cream left, but it's less than it used to be.
For sure.
So yay. And the burgundy, I said 1, but it was a 50-gram skein. So, yay!
All right, I have a the Bridget socks by Amy Beth Mays in Wool Mice. It's a weird different colorway, so I think it might be Taube. Very beautiful blue peacocky. Knitting with this makes me want to knit my garment quantity Wool Mice, because it's just so wonderful. It's kind of splitty. Wool Mice is. but it's just so substantial. I mean, it's wool, but it almost feels like cotton.
Mm-hmm.
And I just absolutely love it. And the pattern is uber memorizable, easy for me to say. So once I got past like the first repeat, I didn't have to refer to it. You guys saw me do the first repeat last week down here. I didn't have to look at the chart. And random strings coming out of my bag. And yep, immediately cast on the second toe. So DP Temple, your socks are coming. That'll be exciting to be able to send those out. And my second FO is I wrapped up my Snowbird by Heidi Kermeyer in the Icelandic oatmeal, which is just what she called it because it's undyed fiber from Sun Valley. And it shedded quite a bit in the wash, and I don't know if I have much else to say. I ripped out the last, 2 inches here and made it garter because I didn't like the rolling, because it's not as long as the pattern called for, because I modded it because I didn't have enough yarn. And I don't know, after wearing it, I don't know that I would want long sleeves and a really long, like down to your knees jacket. The pockets I kind of modified and did an applied, so I picked up a stitch and then knit it together to make it. So the pockets are very seamless, sort of seamless. And then I did the garter around the edges because ultimately I can wear it inside out should I want to. So it's knit, reverse stockinette, and then when you turn it back inside out, the collar kind of has a fun roll. And then you've got your nice garter edging on that side too.
Okay.
And then the pockets would just be interior pockets. So you might say, Megan, that looks goofy, but I don't care because I like it. I like it my both ways. And I'm on a Heidi Kermeyer kick. So I knit this, I'm knitting a Nanook, and next up is a vitamin D for me, because there are quite a few people that I know that will be knitting one shortly. So, and I like the way that it rolls, the collar rolls. And I did my little modify, I don't know what you call it, the crocheted seaming, where you take a loop and on both sides and you knit through it and then bind off. And I think it looks nice. It looks like a seam that you would see in a cardigan that you bought at the store. So, and this is probably how I would wear it, with a long sleeve shirt underneath it, and like what was that show called with the gay guys?
Queer Eye?
Queer Eye for the straight guy. Zhuzhed. My sleeves are zhuzhed. And those are my 2 FOs.
Okay. So I had cast on all the things, or whatever you want to call it, because of the monogamy was driving me nuts. And you saw the
fingering weight jumper.
Yeah, you saw the bags last week. And so
the pile of bags, as
yes.
people said, next to you.
So I only have 3.
Only.
And this is the 4th one did not get started, but I thought I'd show it because it is my Trekkie that's going to be the striping. KL. And I have picked out, I think I'm going to do the traditional Gansey sock. Because it just puts in pearls, and that shouldn't mess up with the
yeah, it should look exactly the same except pebbled in certain places.
So I think that will be pretty good for self-striping.
They're V's, right?
Yep.
Which was kind of fun, because don't the Star Trek people do the...
Oh, yeah. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. That's true. Didn't even think about it. No, I
would be good at Nerd Wars, I think.
Yeah. I think you could. So, I want to get those started, but I do have 2 other pairs of socks on the needles. So, bear with me. But I started my Alaska Mama's Lefty. So, there's that little bitty start. It's going to, as all of the, her name just left
Martina Bem?
Martina Bem patterns do. Just grows and grows and grows. So 3 little ones was nice and quick to get, oh, I think I did it on New Year's Eve. So that was kick off the new year.
Do you want to hold up your balls?
Oh, sure. We got,
Do you want me to hold your balls? Sorry. I apologize, but I'm really not sorry. I will continue to do it.
So we have this reddish pink. I would say a lot of people called it red when I was knitting my olive, but to me it's more of a pink.
Fuchsia.
Yeah, fuchsia. And then this purple. Mm-hmm. And then I have a black and white.
Variegated.
So yeah, variegated. So you can see the black and white in there, and then the pink. So I'll just keep on going every other one in those colors, so that it looks more coordinated, I guess. I looked at the scraps I had gathered from last week, and I couldn't get over that. Like, I'd probably start knitting with that yellow on a longer one, and I'd run out, and then I'd have to like pick up and put like a blue or something. I just couldn't get over that it might not work out evenly. So I took the 2 biggest leftover remnants I had of wool mice and put them in there. So, and they're gonna work. I think they look good. Then I spent New Year's Day working on my beatnik.
Your cables look much better than mine.
So yeah, this is actually an Aran weight cotton Angora fiber. And I'm using the little stitch markers that Bacon Fairy got me in a swap. They're the wee ones cupcakes. Pretty sure it was Bacon Fairy. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. So, yay. But, yeah, that's almost 2 repeats of the pattern. And, cool.
Yes. And you said you think that you have until the end of January to complete that one now?
Yes. The KL has been extended to the end of January. So maybe if I get sick of knitting on the smaller gauge, I can go back to the Aran and get it done. I was also wondering, like, maybe I could do it like all moss stitch on the back, and that might go a lot quicker for me than trying to work the cable pattern, unless somehow I have it memorized by the beginning, by the time I end the front.
18 different cables or something?
It's crazy insane.
Yeah.
So, I'm following the chart, and I have 2 of them done, and I haven't messed up yet, so I'm like, well, it's not terrible.
Oh, no, I didn't find the charts undoable. They were just like you had to keep track. One cable was 18 rows and one was 12, and you had to keep track of where you were in the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they were multiples of each other. 18 and 12 were bad numbers, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's that. This is an FO that's been from before. This hasn't been recently started. This is my I'll bet the moon, I think, or I'll let the moon. Oh, it's probably I'll let the moon. It's Shakespeare. So here is that sock almost done.
And these are for you?
Yes. I was knitting on these while watching The Lord of the Rings, because she's the lady who does the Lord of the Rings socks. And Ellen, oh gosh,
I cannot.
I apologize, Erin. Ellen something designs, but this is in my projects page. And so I turned the heel, and I'm done with the gusset, so as soon as I get a certain length, I can repeat this bobbly thing on the foot, on the top of the foot.
Okay, I was going to say, so all the way around?
Yeah, I know, just on the top of the foot, and then it even does a little bit of this ribbing on the toe. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But again, I'm starting to get that feeling that I'm outgrowing my obsession with complicated socks. I mean, this is... I've knit the Cookie A twisted flower socks. I know of complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But these, as as like this part's the only part that's complicated, and it wasn't even that bad. But at the same time, I don't know, I just want to knit, some of this stuff.
And thus your selection for the self-straightening.
Yes. Just simple. I mean, yes, it's something, it's a charted thing and I'm going to have to memorize, but it's not going to be that hard and it'll be done. And again, once I got past this part, I was like, oh, this is easy, but then I just get stuck, thinking about the second sock is like not making me happy.
That would be what I would, I mean, like with beatnik, right? If you're gonna, that second half, you're like, well, maybe I'll do it and just moss stitch. Because,
exactly.
Like, maybe this one will just have this all throughout and we'll just skip some of that other more complicated stuff. And they will be fraternal twins.
Yeah. Yes, and this thought has crossed my mind several times.
We are on the same wavelength.
Yes. So I will finish these, but they might get timed out, like stuck in a corner until.
And nothing against the pattern, right? Just
no, not at all. Actually, like I said, the only complicated part, and again, air quotes because it wasn't that hard to do, was this part, and everything else has been, moss stitch, dead simple, standard everything. But thinking about starting this again is making me like, really? I think it's probably this chain. There's a horizontal chain that comes across here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And they're not, it's kind of like a row that takes you twice as long as any other row kind of thing, so it really slows you down.
You said it was like more than a bus ride, right?
Yes. So. Yeah. So like 20 minutes a row. I'm speeding up on it, but still, it was pretty bad.
Speaking of speeding up, now that you're back to having 5 million whips,
sorry,
we're going to run out of time.
And then sabbatical. In my prissy girl sport, which
is fantabulous.
I'm loving it.
Can you imagine? Wasn't the Even Star out of Prissy Girl?
Not
sport.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh. Well, this might have to get worn around naked at least once when it's done.
My husband always asks me to model my knitwear for him in that manner. Can you take my picture? Is that all you're going to be wearing? No, not for Revelry.
But it's, I figured Tempted would appreciate that.
Yes, it is very nice. My New Year's cast on was the Nanook. So my New Year's Nanook. I'm done with the bear tracks. And I'm generally not I'm on gauge, but when I did the size that is correct for my bust, this part, and I'm hoping not to, but it was like down to my belly button, and that was not the style of cardigan that I wanted. Like the model in the picture, if I had it, would be nice. It's about her bust area. And it's kind of cool, and I didn't realize it when I picked out the pattern to do, but you can use these yarn overs, and you can button it. So you could put a button on the wrong side here, and you could button it through, which I thought was kind of neat, and then they show one modeled version where it's like, they flipped it back with said buttons, which is kind of cool as well. Really love the Bear Tracks lace weight work here, and am now getting to the back decreases, which it almost seem a little overly complicated for what they are. There's like a chart and Amy and I were looking at it, and 3 different letters that you have to do substitution of counts with, and I'm not overly enthused about that, which is why I went back to knitting my socks. But the yarn that I'm using, I wanted to tell folks, it's a Red Heart yarn, but it's the Debbie Stroller Stitch Nation Bamboo U. And all bamboo yarns even my traveling sweater have a bit of where you can see they're a little fuzzy. And this in particular is viscose from bamboo, so it's basically glorified acrylic. But I think it's really, feel it. It's really soft, I feel like it's going to wear pretty well. I mean, I don't think it's going to get any more fuzzy. There is the possibility that it could get really fuzzy. But uber affordable. I got mine, I think my 6 skeins that are my sweaters worth for this was like $32 or something like that, and I bought it at joann's.com when they had like a free shipping sale if you bought a certain amount of, and so I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a sweater, a very cost-effective sweater yarn. It's impressed me. I feel like it's kind of like shepherd's wool. It's really soft like that. I don't know, I like it. And I really like the color, Twilight. What else? That is it. We've got enabling, and we're at 46 minutes.
Okay, so the price for this is going to be cut off.
It is. We'll have to have a separate one, and hopefully people can find it.
Okay.
So, I have a birthday coming up. January 7th is my birthday. I am a Capricorn. Jesus was a Capricorn. And I've got friends have been sending me, so Annette K18 sent me this wonderful balaclava. I kind of coveted Amy Beth's, so it's nice to have. Thought this would be. I did not wear it when I was running in 13-degree weather, and I probably should have. I was breathing icicles.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And she also knit me a for good, which I thought was very nice, very kind, out of Malabrigo sock, held double. And it fits fantastic, and I love the way the variegation worked up in the pattern. The pattern's still very visible, but also variegated. So I knit a bunch of them for my family, and she knit one for me, which made me smile and happy. And what else? We have a mutual friend, a very good friend, that sent us some yarn. Or sent me some yarn, you some yarn too. This is Zombie Apocalypse in the Traveler base from Dragonfly Fibers. It is fantastic.
It's very cool.
I asked our friend whether or not she got this after we named our retreat, and she said no, she'd had it since October, and I was like, wow, what's the coincidence? I love this color. I want to knit a garment out of this color. There are 2 more skeins of this, which are 280 yards of a DK weight, and I'm trying to think if I could make a garment out of it, and I might need to buy it before this goes live. Because I know other people that are planning to going on the Zombie Knit to the Zombie Knit Apocalypse that might like this as well, but then it would count for January. And
then you're just like, and can you save that just in case I need sleeves?
Yeah. Amy's making fun. Very beautiful color. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Greens, greens, greens. And then I also got, because I had commented on the podcast that I have regretted not getting it, the Desert Vista Dye Works Dia de los Muertes, which is a 12 striper.
Wow.
Is that not crazy?
Cool.
Totes crazy. 12 stripes. The stripes, they keep finding me.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say. And I've got more coming. Because when I knew that I was going to set my resolution, I kind of went a little crazy. Yeah. Miss Babs on the way.
Oh, okay. We have the same yarn on the way too, the Desert Vista Dye Works New Year's color.
Yes,
too.
that's a self-striping as well. My Twisted Limone.
Oh, yes.
Came. This is the Rainforest colorway, which has a beautiful green and purple and blue. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. And it comes from England, I believe, or the United Kingdom. And so there is a bit of a delay, but
for us anyway.
Yes, for us.
Those of you in Europe might get it very soon.
Yes. And so, yes, the self-striping is finding me. I can't hide from it. Oh, I've got more than just the New Year's Eve colorway coming.
Okay.
Deep breath. But it all got ordered in 2012, and that one's on the books.
Well, see, and you're making me feel better about my restraint. Like, I have yet to buy from 3 Irish Girls, and she has been sending me all sorts of emails lately.
So are you telling me that I am the ugly bridesmaid that makes the bride feel pretty? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a beautiful bride.
I am so restrained. So much restraint.
Okay,
also, gift cards do not count in my resolution.
I would agree with that.
So I have gift cards from Christmas and...
Yes. No, I did that as well.
Okay.
Like, I agree. They do not count.
Sorry.
It's
like Calvin Ball. I keep on adding clauses.
Yeah. and you have to touch this before you can do that.
And if I'm in the club already, then yes.
So my sister-in-law, I had sent her a bunch of links, and she had picked out something from my list. This is some turtle pearl, and it is hand-dyed in Canada.
Mm.
And, you know, the colorway wasn't actually written on this, so I don't know what it is.
It's very greeny.
Yes, it's very awesome greeny. Maybe it had a zombie name. I'm not sure, but it's, you know, color, and it's left blank. Blink, so I have no idea.
This color intentionally left blank.
So it's really cool. I need to get back to photographing stash, right? Now that I have these things, I gotta add them. So, my husband went out onto the Loopy U, and now he's probably gonna have another credit because they redid their...
Yep, got the email.
Redid their reward system, and it sounds really neat.
If you get 5,000 points, that means you've spent $5,000 at the Loopy U. I guess that maybe if all the yarn you buy is through them, that would be. But oh goodness, that level was like 35% off everything and free shipping, and yeah, there was lots of cool rewards.
Mhm.
I'm getting really warm. I'm red faced.
You get to take that sweater off. Anyway, keep going.
Yes.
This one was exclusively dyed for the Loopy U. So this is the Take a Hike colorway in the Smooshy with Cashmere, which has 20% cashmere in it. And it feels like it has 20% cashmere, and it is amazing.
That was one of the rewards as well. Getting a colorway dyed exclusively for you.
And I saw that they also had, you get a guaranteed spot in the Spring Fling as another, like, you have to be at the cashmere or Kivyat level, but I was like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Sleeping Under the Stars in the same one.
And I got that one.
And then these lovely snap bags. One of them is at home holding some of my fiber. So I put all these lovelies in here and know that they have to be photographed and put out on my stash.
Yes. And I got another birthday gift that I think I'm going to save for next week in the interest of time.
Yes, we are already after 50 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
Chatty. I've got so many works in progress. My name is Amy.
Jeez. Not like we didn't talk like a long time before.
And 20 FOs. And yes. Anyway, we have a good time. It's always a good time.
Yes.
So for those of you who did not participate in the Crazy KAL and had a lesson learned posted, or did not participate in the For Good KAL and did not post a hat picture, this is goodbye. And for those of you that did, I believe this will be a separate video, so look for that. It'll be like episode 61 prize will be the number, probably.
There you go.
Hopefully that doesn't like overwrite in iTunes that you only get to see the one.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Look for, if you get the prize one and you don't get this one, you can't hear me right now. But if you get this one and you don't get the prize one, you'll know to go look.
Okay.
So.
Bye.
Bye, Uvda.